Hey, so this is an update video on the newest version of ClubSoft. So super excited about this, probably the most changes we've ever made to the application. So I'm ecstatic. So basically when you get here, you have a custom page that has your image, your logo. It's all customizable and I'll show you how we do it here in just a second. So we'll log into the software. And once you're logged in, you will get a welcome dashboard and it has your name, has all of your information. So I'm logged in as an administrator, so you'll see a few other tabs that you won't see as a normal user. From here, pretty much everything that's going on at the club, new members, links to different sites, and then I can also run some quick actions right here from the dashboard. So again, this looks a little bit different if you're just a normal user. Member directory, pretty much the same as it was before, but we've added some additional stuff. So when you're new, you can go in and import your members. You can also add them manually. You can click on a user's profile. So from here, you will see the member's profile. One of the most exciting things, and I'm ecstatic about it, is the membership card. So from here, you can print off the membership card. You can add household members, you can add registered items, you can add emergency contacts. Under resources, this will show the spots that you are assigned, and then it'll also show waiting lists. Under financials, this would be any pending invoices I have or any invoices that I've already paid. Also, I can save my credit card information here. This is all connected through Stripe, so we are totally secure. And then the upload documents, so this would be any documents that the user uploads from their profile, and then they would be able to see signed documents. We have a partnership with Signwell, and so this would be where it displays signed documents. Board and committee members, kind of similar to what we had before, layout's a little bit different and way more customizable. So the administrator can go in here, click edit, can add a user as secretary, and click save, and then all of a sudden now Emily's here. We also added the ability to add a spouse or a partner, so you can assign partners or spouses, and all of this whole page is completely customizable, which I'll show you here in a minute. Access management, this page basically shows you where all of your administrators are, so you can track your administrators in one easy spot. You can assign a new role by searching for a user and then assigning a role to them. Prospective members. So this is where any incoming or members that are interested in joining your club. So let's see. So I thought I had a converted one. Nope, I don't. But basically what they would do is they would fill out an application and then they would show up here, and I'll show you the application here in a little bit, which is customizable as well. So everything's customizable. We've made it super easy, totally updated information. Contacts, this is where you can manage additional contacts that may not be a member, but have some other affiliation to your club. So you can keep track of anybody that may have signed up for a class or attending an event. So this is where all of your contacts live. Communication. And so basically from here, you can send an individual email to just an individual. Additionally, you can send an email to a tagged group of users. Which I didn't talk about tags, but basically tags are throughout the entire system. So I can go in here and I can create a tag, and I can send a tag to my sailing regatta folks or my 22-foot moorage folks. And that's all. Some of those tags are automatically created, which we can touch on here in a little bit. Distribution groups, so you still have custom distribution groups. And then I can also just send an email to all of my 9 active members of my yacht club. Smallest yacht club in the world. Individual contacts, I can also search those contacts that were listed under the membership contacts, and then I can also send an email to tags in those contacts. And then event tags basically shows a list of all of the events, which we need to clean that up. And you can send any combination of any different email to your membership. We also added AI. So you can type up a letter and have AI help you revise it. Templates, so if you create a template, so we have a couple different templates in here. We have system templates that are automatically sent from the application, such as an event ticket And you have the ability to edit that template or turn that template off if you don't want event tickets sent. Distribution will allow you to create custom distribution groups, and then history will show you history of emails that have been sent and if they were delivered. Financials. So from here, you can manage your club's financial side of things. You can view payments. You can send a receipt, and you can view pending payments or failed payments, or you can view all payments. So that's done from here. This is all integrated through Stripe. From here, you can look at invoices. You can view pending invoices. You can view paid invoices, overdue invoices, or voided invoices. And you have options over here where you can click send, which will send an email to a customer. You can mark them as paid if they paid via check, or you can void that invoice. You can also create a new invoice. And so from here, you can go in, you can create an invoice that goes to specific members, or you can create it to send to a specific tag. So if I want to send an invoice to all of my 22-foot boat slip holders, I can do that from here. I'd enter in the description, select the product, and then select the due date. So once you click confirm, what ends up happening is it ends up sending an email. That email looks like this. So here's a invoice that I sent previously for David for our dinner reception, and it had the price of $20. And so here it calculates the ACH fees. It also calculates the credit card fees. So once they click select payment method, it brings them to a page that looks like this. And then they would continue to payment. And that would take you to the Stripe page. So here's the finalized invoice. I can enter in my credit card information. This is all powered through Stripe. And then that invoice, once paid, will show up in that user's profile. Subscriptions, you can go in here and you can create a subscription. Here you can manage customers. So there is customers, and then there is also members. So the members are automatically added when you add them to the site. So you can invoice both customers and contacts. And then finally, this is where you would go in and add your products. So you could add different products that are reoccurring. You can charge sales tax. You can include customer processing fees, which then ends up getting absorbed by the customer or the member. Resources. So this has been slightly modified. So from here, you can manage your different resources or assignable things that you want to assign to a member. Map view. Basically, you can go in, you can customize a map, you can zoom in on it. All of these are assignable, and we're working on modifying that even more. So for more details. Lists would show the different waiting or the different moorage spots, and then waiting lists would show different waiting lists. From here, you can assign a spot, you can sublease a spot, or you can temporarily assign a spot. So if I want, I can go here, I can select temporarily assign a spot, we'll assign it to myself, and we will select the spot. And there are some prompts throughout the system. And then you can also have it automatically send an invoice once they are assigned a spot for a certain amount of days, which I'll show you the custom program for that here in a sec. Documents. So you basically have your club documents, which are documents that are bylaws or other forms or other things that need to be printed, or you want members to be able to have access to, so the members can view this tab, member documents. This is only visible to administrators. So from here, I can go in and I can search for documents specifically that have been uploaded to my profile. Forms, this is new. We didn't have this before, but basically you can upload miscellaneous forms. So here I have a bill of sales disclosure form. And so basically if I want members to be able to have access to a variety of different forms within my club, that's here. Form Builder, this is where you can go in and you can create an actual website form. From here you can go edit, and it'll show you all of the form fields that you can edit and manage. And then submissions would just show you what a user actually submitted on a form. E-sign documents. So this is with a partnership with Signwell, an electronic signature company. So from here you can track electronic signatures. You can send a basic e-sign request where it asks the user to DocuSign basically. You choose the product, and then if you need a cosign, and then you can click send. You can send this to an individual member, or you can pick tags and send it to your 22-foot boat slip members. We also have the ability to do complex document signatures. So this is where you'd have multiple areas that the member needs to sign. There is a cost to both of those that is paid through for basically on Signwell's side. Classifieds, pretty self-explanatory. You can go in and you can post and add events. This is where you can see the event calendar. You can create an event by going through here. You can select whether you want the event to collect a price for tickets. So if a member goes on, they can RSVP and pay for the event right there. Settings, this allows you other additional settings such as creating a reoccurring event, a maximum number of attendees, a registration date, and then you can disable this, disable registration. So if it's a meeting, then it won't show. Enable automatic tags. Again, you can tag events. So here I can go in and I can select a tag. And so basically, if this is my sailing regatta and I want the users that register to this to be added to my sailing regatta, that way I can send an email to all of my sailing regatta folks. Finally, you can print. You can go here to print and it'll bring up a preview menu, and you can print off a calendar list. All right, advanced reporting. So this part we're going to continue to grow and add, but right now you can go in here and you can view unpaid invoices. We'll also get it set to where you can export insurance information. Website, this part we also continue to develop, but if your club needs help with their website or your public-facing website, we can help with that. Finally, the fun part, configuration. So in here, you can control pretty much everything within the application. So under branding, you can enter in your name, you can upload your logo, you can change your color. So if I want to change the gradient to, we'll do this pink color. And then this image was the login screen. And then you can customize your login screen. So we'll click save, and now all of a sudden my branding colors throughout the entire site have changed. Application settings, so this is where you would go through and you would set your time zone. You could set your event categories, your resource section, so you can call it kind of whatever you want with whatever logo you want. And then you can enter in registered item types. So basically if you have boats, villas, and RVs, you can do that here. And then sublease terms. So this allows you to select how you want sublease to be labeled within the application. Check-in, check-out terminology. So this would be your ability to temporarily assign a spot. And then down here, you can enter the title of your board terminology. So if instead of executive officers, it's executive committee, you can call that executive committee. If it's president instead of Commodore, you would change that here. And then down here, you can disable different resource features or pages within the application. Membership setting. This is where you would enter into your membership type. You can also remove the allow members to hide their privacy within the application. And then from here, you can manage different tags and you can create additional tags. Permissions, there's not a whole lot you can do on this page right now. We'll continue to develop this page, but this would be all of the administrator roles within the application. Email settings, so this is your outgoing email to members. So when you send a email from the application, it does it there. You can also enter a custom domain. So then the email actually comes from your domain and not ClubSoft. Website tools. So this is where you would be able to grab embed codes for different sections. So the membership application, you could take the embed code right here. If I click preview, here is what the membership application form looks like. And so that's that customizable form that I showed you a little bit ago. And when someone fills this out, it'll automatically show up in the prospective members place. Member login link. So this is that page that looks like this. And so you can basically add that to your current website and users can sign in right there. An embeddable sign-in widget, kind of the same thing as the sign-in page before, just different, that can be embedded onto your website. So this one, you can actually give them the link and then it opens a new page, or you can do this one and it embeds it within your website. Contact form, pretty self-explanatory. It's just a little form that goes on your box or on your site that we need to fix apparently. And then the embeddable calendar. So this is your calendar of events. So any classes or events that you want listed on your website, you can do from there. You can also have it where it lists the poster view, but I haven't uploaded any posters to my my site. And that is pretty much it for embeds. Workflows, we're continuing to develop this out, but this is automations within the system that send a membership application processing and the check-in and check-out notification. Billing and payments, this is where all of the billing side of everything is. So we have integrations with Stripe and with QuickBooks. And so from here, you can sync members, you can refresh. You can also refresh the status with QuickBooks. You can decide whether you want to sync customers, member, or contacts, members, or both, or don't want to sync customers to QuickBooks. We sync every 2 days, or you can change that to 3 or 7. And then ClubSoft invoices. So basically, how do you want the transactions to sync to QuickBooks? And then billing contact will be displayed on the bottom of your emails that get sent out. And then if you have a subscription anchor date, and then the currency. ClubSoft billing, this is just the section that shows the e-sign documents. And then resource, this is where you go in and manage the categories for resources. And so there's a bunch of different customizable tags and information in here. It's usually something that you do once. But you don't have to do it again. So you can assign a category. So basically a user can be assigned to a category and not necessarily a resource. And then you can also require e-signature straight from the document. So when you assign them a slip, you can have them sign the electronic signature right there. You can also enable waiting lists for this category, the size, the sublease price, and then the daily price if you want to charge a daily rental. And so, and then what memberships are allowed to utilize this category. And then one other thing I wanted to show is the map view. So from here, you can go in and you can add different map or different icons to your map and customize your map. Resources, this is where you would go in and actually create the actual resources that are assigned to that category. And then finally, integration. So right now we have Stripe integration and we have QuickBooks integration. So this is where you would go in and manage the integrations with those two. Finally, I don't know that I talked about it, but there is the membership page, which actually I think I did because I remember the membership page. And so yeah, so that is the new version of ClubSoft. Would love to chat with you if you are interested in upgrading, but hopefully you enjoyed this video.